y'all. Of course, I can give you a dressing recipe. What better time than now with Thanksgiving right around the corner? Y'all know I like to make my own broth, so I use 4 tablespoons of chicken bouillon and 8 cups of water. Then I go in with my all-purpose seasoning, because say it with me, we season everything around here. Now, I like to use chicken legs for my dressing. You can use whatever meat you like. I put that in the broth and bring that to a low boil for about 40 minutes. While the chicken is boiling, I make the cornbread. I use a pre-mixed cornbread mix where you don't have to add like the baking powder and stuff, and I use Jiffy. That's my thing. If you don't like sweet cornbread, don't use it. Low-key, the cornbread the easiest part of the whole thing, because you just follow the instructions on the back of both packages and bam, you have cornbread. And since it's so much food to make for Thanksgiving, you can even make the cornbread the day before. Once it's all mixed, spray your baking dish with nonstick spray and pour your mixture in. You'll bake that for like 20 to 25 minutes on 450, but check the back of your packaging and make sure that's what the instructions call for. While my cornbread is baking, I get my Holy Trinity ready, which is bell pepper, onion, and celery. I like my veggies extremely small in my dressing, so as you can see, I chop them pretty small. You, of course, can chop them to the thickness and width and size of your liking. For this size pan, I use 1 bell pepper, 1 regular size onion, and 4 celery stalks. I like to slice the celery stalks down the middle and then dice them because, like I said, I like my veggies small. You don't have to do that. Also, I would not recommend using frozen vegetables. I tried that before. It just does not turn out right. Cut your veggies. So once everything is all cut and chopped up, you want to add 1 stick of butter to a pan, melt it down, and add all your veggies. Grab the seasoning, because you know what we're going to do. Season everything. Season it real good, mix it up, and let that simmer on low until the veggies are nice, soft, and golden brown. I don't like no crunchy veggies in my dressing. Yes, that was a double negative. So they got to look like this, y'all. Like, look at that. And let's get back to the boiled chicken. Like, do y'all see it falling off the bone? It's given. Look at that. So yeah, you want to get all the skin, the bones, the little gristle, get all that off and get your meat ready to be broken down into little pieces and blended in the dressing. So now that everything is done, it's time to break your cornbread down. You want to crumble it as finely minced as possible. Try not to rush the process. The more you break it down, the smoother your dressing will be. So make sure you get rid of all the chunks of cornbread. Now to build your dressing, you're going to need this crumbled cornbread, your sauteed vegetables, your boiled chicken, poultry seasoning, sage, 3 eggs, and about 4 cups of chicken broth. I also add 1 stick of melted butter because, in my opinion, it just adds to the richness and creaminess of dressing. And for the seasonings, I use 2 teaspoons of both poultry seasoning and sage. When it comes to the chicken broth, I would say add in 2 cups at a time, depending on the size pan of cornbread you made. You don't want to make it too wet, and you definitely don't want it dry. I personally like moist dressing, so I add about 4 cups of broth to my mixture. I also am extremely afraid of catching salmonella poison, so I do not put the raw eggs in first. I do my whole dressing mixture and then do a taste test. Then I go in with the eggs. Once you've added everything into the pan, mix it really well to incorporate all the different things you added, and your dressing is ready to bake. Spray your pan with nonstick spray so the dressing doesn't stick and pour your mixture into it. You're going to bake it on 400 for about 45 minutes. At the 45-minute mark, I take it out and stir it well. You don't have to do that. That's just what I like to do. I stir it real good, get it all mixed in. It's nowhere near done. And then I put it back in the oven for another 45 minutes, so a total bake time of 1 hour and 30 minutes. I don't cover mine with foil while it's baking because I like the top to be nice, golden brown, and crispy. Usually while the dressing is baking for the last 45 minutes, I'll make a homemade gravy or get the canned cranberry sauce ready, but that's it. I know dressing seems so intimidating because it's so many steps, but it's really not that hard to make. So I'd say leave the stovetop at home this year and bring some homemade dressing to Thanksgiving. Your family is going to love it. Once again, they're going to be asking you, who made the dressing? Bring some gravy too. Bring the cranberry sauce, bring the dressing, show up and show out. It's going to be an immediate yes. Your family's going to love it. They're going to be asking for